The 1st Battalion, 7th Marines is an infantry battalion of the United States Marine Corps. It is based at the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center, Twentynine, Palms, consists of approximately 1,000 Marines, and is part of the 1st Marine Division.Famous Marines who have served in 1/7 include Lieutenant General Louis Chesty and Gunnery Sergeant John Basilone. History. The 1st Battalion, 7th Marines was created on 1 April 1921 in San Diego, California. In September 1924, the battalion was deactivated, with its personnel being absorbed by the newly organized 4th Marine Regiment. For the next 20 years the battalion was activated, redesignated and disbanded on numerous occasions until being reborn on 1 January 1941. World War II. Just over a year after its rebirth, the battalion deployed to take part in the Pacific Theater during World War II, where its personnel saw the first action of the war at Guadalcanal. Under its commander, Lieutenant Colonel Louis B. Chesty, the battalion distinguished itself many times over for valor and bravery as it valiantly held its positions against the onslaught of a regiment of seasoned Japanese attackers. It was also during this campaign that the legendary Sergeant Major John Basilone was awarded the Medal of Honor for defending the regiment from a comprehensive Japanese assault using only a machine gun. Throughout the remainder of the war, the 1st Team distinguished itself throughout many campaigns, including the Battle of Cape Gloucester, the Battle of Peleliu and the Battle of Okinawa. The battalion deployed to North China for occupation duty at the end of the war. Korean War. Following World War II, the 1st of the 7th was sent to Camp Pendleton in California, where it was deactivated on 5 March 1947. However, in response to the invasion of South Korea by the Communist North Korea, the battalion was again called into action. On 21 September 1950, the unit carried out an amphibious landing at Incheon. Once more the 1st Team distinguished itself in the battle as it took part in operations such as Hope, Reno, and Vegas, as well as fighting its way to and from the Chosin Reservoir. It was during this war that such names as 1st Lt. Frank Mitchell, SSGT Archie Van Winkle and Lt. Colonel Raymond C. Davis became part of Marine Corps history when each were awarded the Medal of Honor. Following the cessation of hostilities in Korea and through 1965, the battalion spent time both in Camp Pendleton and Okinawa while maintaining its combat readiness. Vietnam War. In August 1965, the battalion was once again called to service, this time in the Republic of Vietnam. For the next 5 years, the 1st Team participated in numerous operations such as Starlight, Piranha, Mameluke Thrust, and Oklahoma Hills. During these operations and many others, the battalion was honored repeatedly, earning the Presidential Unit Citation Streamer 4 times and the Meritorious Unit Commendation Streamer 3 times, while Robert R. Ingram would be awarded the Medal of Honor in 1966. 5 Marines from the battalion were responsible for the only war crime attributable to the Marine Corps during the Vietnam War. On 19 February 1970, in the village of Sun Thang 4 just southwest of Da Nang, a 5-man patrol from the unit executed 5 women and 11 children. 1 member of the team was convicted of premeditated murder. Gulf War. The 1st Battalion, 7th Marines was the first unit to man defensive positions in Saudi Arabia during Operation Desert Shield in August 1990. The unit was an integral member of Task Force Ripper. As Desert Shield became Desert Storm, the battalion participated in the diagonal thrust to the perimeter of Kuwait City, spearheading the liberation of Kuwait from Iraq. The battalion returned to Twentynine Palms in March 1991. Somalia. On the 11th of December 1992, the first elements of 1st Battalion, 7th Marines arrived at Mogadishu, Somalia for Operation Restore Hope. Battalion operations were conducted in Baidoa, Bardera, Otta, Afgoy and Mogadishu. The battalion relieved Task Force Mogadishu for occupation of the stadium complex in Mogadishu on the 25th of January 1993. The following night, Lance Corporal Anthony Bottolo was killed by a sniper while on night patrol in the city. He was the only other Marine other than PFC Domingo Arroyo of 3/11 to be killed in action in Somalia. The battalion turned over the mission and area of operations in Mogadishu to the 10th Balik Battalion on the 24th of April 1993 and returned to Twentynine, Palms, Operation Iraqi Freedom in January 2003. The battalion was deployed on Operation Iraqi Freedom. It crossed the Kuwaiti border into Iraq on the 18th of March. Its first mission was to seize the strategically prominent oil pumping and control station in Arizona Zabet. This station was so important because more than 50% of Iraq's oil was controlled by it. The battalion saw significant combat action on its way to Baghdad and in the streets of the Iraqi capital. On the 23rd of April, the battalion turned over control of the sector to the U.S. Army and took up positions in the city of An-Najaf. After countless extensions, the battalion returned to Twentynine Palms on the 5th of October 2003. In August 2004, the battalion deployed once more, but this time to western Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom II. There the battalion conducted security operations in the cities and roadways along the Euphrates River and Syrian border to include Asaba, Karabila, Sadar, Abadi, Al-Qaim, Haditha, Hit and Aklania. Involved in combat operations on a daily basis, battalion personnel conducted mounted and dismounted urban patrols, cordon knocks, main supply route security, sweep operations, and border security to clear the battalion's area of operation of enemy insurgents. In March 2006, the battalion again deployed to Iraq and operated near the Iraqi-Syrian border, conducting dismounted urban patrols, weapons cache sweeping and vehicle checkpoints. It returned in September 2006. 1/7th returned to Western Al-Anbar in August 2007. Assigned to Al-Hit, the Marines conducted thousands of combat patrols and weapon cache sweeps. The task force found over 22,000 pieces of ordnance during the deployment and captured over 200 suspected terrorists and criminals. TF 1/7th was partnered with 2 Iraqi infantry battalions and 2 police districts. The training and development of the Iraqi units was so successful that the city of It was the first city within the Al-Anbar province to be returned to Iraqi control. The battalion returned to Twentynine Palms in March 2008. In February 2009, 1/7th returned to the Al-Anbar province. Assigned to Fallujah and Al-Qama, it was tasked to maintain security in the area with close cooperation with Iraqi police, the Iraqi army and provincial security forces. Upon departing the region in August and September 2009, the battalion turned over the outer Iraqi control before returning to the United States. Operation Enduring Freedom. In March 2012, 1/7th deployed to Sangin District, Helmand Province, Afghanistan to conduct counterinsurgency operations and support the transition of authority from U.S. forces to the Afghan National Security Forces. The battalion returned in October 2012. In March 2014, 1/7th again deployed to Helmand Province, Afghanistan. The battalion retrograded from Sangin district on 5 May 2014, and turned over security responsibility of the area to the Afghan National Army. The infantrymen of 1/7th were the final Marines to occupy Fob Sabat Kadam and the surrounding area in Sangin district. During the battalion's approximately 7-month-long deployment, the 1st Team was responsible for a number of successful missions throughout Helmand Province. They should be proud of what they contributed to the campaign, said Brig. Gen. Daniel Yu. They have been involved in everything from the northern Helmand retrograde from Sangin, which was historic for the Marine Corps but also for 1st Battalion, 7th Marines because of the previous deployment there. They were involved in the central Helmand liftoff to support our UK brothers as they picked up and moved out of Lashkargah. They were involved in elections prep from both the primary elections and the runoff elections. Unfortunately, amidst the battalion's success came 2 devastating incidents. The first incident occurred while providing security, the 25th of June, when Sergeant Thomas Spitzer, a scout assigned to the Scout Sniper Platoon, was killed in action. The second occurred during a dismounted combat patrol, the 9th of August, when Staff Sergeant Brandon Dodson, a platoon sergeant with Bravo Co., stepped on an improvised explosive device. Dodson was severely injured, but he maintains a positive attitude and is committed toward his recovery at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. On the 1st of October 2014, 1/7th transferred their area of responsibility to 3rd Squadron, 3rd Cavalry Regiment, U.S. Army Command based out of Fort Hood, Texas. Medal of Honor recipients: World War II GYSGT John Basilone, 24-25 October 1942, Guadalcanal. Korean War SSGT Archie Van Winkle, the 2nd of November 1950, Korea. Sergeant James I. Pointer, the 4th of November 1950, Korea. 1st LT Frank N. Mitchell, the 26th of November 1950, Korea. LT Colonel Raymond G. Davis, 1–4 December 1950, Korea. PFC Herbert A. Littleton, the 22nd of April 1951, Korea. Sergeant Frederick W. Mausert, 3, the 12th of September 1951, Korea. Corporal David B. Champagne, the 28th of May 1952, Korea. PFC John D. Kelly, the 28th of May 1952, Korea. Vietnam War HM3 Robert R. Ingram, the 28th of March 1966, Vietnam. Corporal Larry E. Smedley, 2021 December 1967, Vietnam. PFC Ralph E. Diaz, the 12th of November 1969, Vietnam. Notable former members: Chesty Puller on Guadalcanal during World War II, being West with Cap Lima 1 during the Vietnam War.